So we are starting with the neuroanatomy. So the coverings of the brain, you have some idea about this coverings of the brain. The coverings of the brain are three, from outermost to innermost. Of course, skull is the outermost covering, but when we talk about coverings of the brain, outermost covering is dura mater. Mater means mother. Dura mater means, word dura comes from the word durable. It is tough. Then is arachnoid matter. The word arachnoid comes from spider. So there are trabeculae running from arachnoid matter to pia mater, and that is why it looks like a spider. So arachnoid matter. And pia matter. Pia nahi hai, pia matter. Okay? Pia means soft. So mothers, when your mother is soft with you, she is like, और जब वो आपका मोबाइल छीन लेती है, और ड्यूरा मैटर, और जब आपको ऐसा पकड़ के arachnoid matter. These three roles of the mother. This dura matter is further divided into two layers. There is the endosteal dura and the what anybody knows about this? कभी सुना है? नाम सुना है? कौन से लेयर से आपको मालूम? एंडोस्टियल लेयर एंड मेनिंजियल लेयर. The endosteal layer and the meningeal layer. Endosteal layer will line the inner side of the skull. Okay. Will line the inner side of the skull. While meningeal layer is thrown into folds. See, brain is not so solid as you feel it in the dissection hall. Brain आप हाथ में भी लोगे अभी. Okay? वो इतना हार्ड नहीं होता है. So काफी सॉफ्ट होता है. हमारे यहाँ पे जब अगर होता है तो सॉफ्ट होता है, तो वो सॉफ्ट को पैकेजिंग देना पड़ता है, उसके लिए पैकेजिंग देना पड़ता है. सो दिस इज डन बाय द मेनिंजियल लेयर ऑफ ड्यूरा. सो दिस मेनिंजियल लेयर ऑफ ड्यूरा, सपोज दिस इज वन लेयर ऑफ सेरेब्रम, दिस इज अनदर लेयर ऑफ सेरेब्रम, एंड दिस इज द स्कल. So this is the endosteal layer lining the skull. So meningeal dura will be, I am drawing a coronal section like this. So meningeal dura will pass between the two cerebral hemispheres. This will be called as falx cerebri. Then there will be a horizontally running layer which will separate the cerebrum from the cerebellum. This is called as tentorium cerebelli. Horizontally, tentorium. Cerebellum lies in the posterior cranial fossa. So covering the posterior cranial fossa is tentorium cerebelli, running horizontally. Running vertically is falx cerebri. Between the two hemispheres of the cerebellum, there is falx cerebelli. Falx cerebelli, falx cerebri, falx cerebelli, and tentorium cerebelli. Falx cerebri separates the two cerebral hemisphere. Falx cerebellae separates the two cerebellar hemispheres. Tentorium cerebellae separates cerebrum from cerebellum. And then there is one more, diaphragma cellae. The pituitary gland actually lies in a pituitary fossa like this. It is hanging from the brain. So covering this is a small diaphragm, diaphragma cellae, through which the pituitary gland comes like this, so that it remains stable. So this is very small. Diaphragma cellae is very small. These three are large layers. बट आपने इधर देखा कुछ कि मैंने ऐसा सीधा ड्रॉ करने की जगह जब वो स्कल को जा रहा है तो मैंने उसको ऐसा स्प्लिट किया. जब इस साइड भी वो स्कल पे जाएगा तो ऐसा स्प्लिट होगा, इस साइड पे जाएगा तो भी ऐसे स्प्लिट होगा. So between the endosteal and the meningeal layer, wherever the meningeal layer is going for the attachment, it splits to enclose dural venous sinuses. Dural venous sinus. It encloses the dural venous sinuses. So we'll study those dural venous sinuses in details when we study the cranial cavity. Right now you remember these are the dural venous sinuses. Okay. Below this, now suppose this is the cerebrum. Now cerebrum is always like this, right? सल्काए गा रहा है, तो मैं जस्ट लाइक ऐसे ग्रॉसली सल्काए गा रहा है ड्रॉ कर रहा हूं. Okay. So below the meningeal layer and covering the brain is arachnoid. So this is arachnoid. So here we come across the first space. We come across the first space between dura and arachnoid, and that is called as subdural space. Between dura and arachnoid. Sometimes the fracture of the brain, the endosteal layer also gets torn, and then there is hemorrhage between the skull and the endosteal layer, meningeal layer. These hemorrhages are called as extradural or epidural. So first is skull, then is epidural or extradural space, which is a potential space, does not exist otherwise. Potential space means only when there is bleeding there, then it will expand. So skull, epidural or extradural space, then endosteal dura, meningeal dura, subdural space, and arachnoid matter. Subdural space, sometimes there are hematomas during accidents. Most of these hematomas are because these dural venous sinuses bleed. See here, they will bleed and it will cause a subdural hematoma. So subdural hematoma is mostly venous because the dural venous sinuses burst into it. Now what about extradural or epidural? So there are some arteries here, meningeal arteries, which run very close to the skull. They supply the meninges, the meningeal layer, the endosteal layer. So in case of fracture, if there is an extradural hemorrhage, most of the time it is arterial. So accidents, if it is extradural hemorrhage, it is arterial. If it is subdural hemorrhage, it is venous. Now this is arachnoid. We have reached up to arachnoid. Arachnoid just covers the brain like this, but the layer below the arachnoid, which is the pia mater, okay, that goes down and like this into the sulci gyri. Okay, it goes into the sulci gyri. It is vascular. Pia mater is vascular. Pia mater is not supplied by those blood vessels. Those blood vessels are meant for supplying the brain. Pia mater derives its nutrition from something which is lying between the pia mater and arachnoid matter. There is subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid space, where there is CSF. Okay, so skull, extradural, epidural space, then dura, then subdural space, then arachnoid, then subarachnoid space, then pia, and then brain directly. Pia and arachnoid most of the times are attached to each other, called as leptomeninges. Leptomeninges means pia plus arachnoid. Leptomeninges. Okay. Now, there is a very subarachnoid space is very short actually, but at some places, if you look at the sagittal section, in sagittal section of the brain, of the skull, suppose this is the brainstem, and inside the brainstem is the fourth ventricle. Inside the cerebrum are two lateral ventricles. Okay, here inside there are two lateral ventricles. Then here is thalamus, and here is third ventricle. So why this is called third? Because lateral ventricle 1, 2, between the two thalami is the third ventricle. Inside both the cerebral hemisphere there is one lateral ventricle. So we count it as 1, 2. Where is third ventricle? Between the two thalami. So there is a communication like this through the interventricular foramen. And then in front of the cerebrum, look here in the sagittal section, you will see in front of the cerebrum, this is the cerebellum. This is the brainstem over here. Here is the brainstem. This is the fourth ventricle. Okay. So in front of the cerebellum, down here, is the fourth ventricle. So fourth will be in front of cerebellum. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 between the two thalami, 4 here. So third ventricle is grossly here. From the third ventricle comes the aqueduct of Sylvius, which is in the midbrain. So this is the aqueduct. Then this is the fourth ventricle. From the fourth ventricle, this continues down in the spinal cord as the central canal. Okay. So inside these lateral ventricle, there is a plexus of capillaries covered by pia and ependyma, which is called as choroid plexus. So here inside the lateral ventricles will be a plexus of capillaries called as choroid plexus. Choroid plexus, which are covered by ependyma and pia also. This choroid plexus produces the CSF. There is choroid plexus in the third and fourth ventricle also. Okay, but the choroid plexus in the third and the fourth ventricle don't produce as much CSF as the lateral ventricles produce. So main source of production of CSF is choroid plexus of the lateral ventricles. Okay. So let's track how this CSF will pass. So CSF is produced in the lateral ventricles, right? From lateral ventricle through the interventricular foramen, it goes to the third ventricle, right? Through the interventricular foramen, it goes to the third ventricle. From third ventricle, what is next? Yes, that girl sitting there. आप ऐसे बैठे हो, अभी पोजीशन, अभी बुक आपने ऐसे निकाला, अभी अपने स्माइल के, हाँ वही आप ही. Aqueduct of Sylvius. From third ventricle, aqueduct of Sylvius. Then after aqueduct of Sylvius, fourth ventricle. After fourth ventricle, goes down in the central canal of बट हम लोग तो बोल रहे हैं कि इधर है सब अरेक्नॉइड स्पेस में CSF, तो उधर कैसे जाएगा? क्या नाम है आपका? अक्षता. इकडे कसं जाणार अक्षता? मराठी कळतं का? एनीबडी? सो द subarachnoid spaces, the blue t-shirt boy, आपका नाम क्या है? हाँ, वेदस. ओके. हैव यू हर्ड ऑफ द टर्म कॉल्ड एज सिस्टर्न्स? कभी सुना है? बच्चा so the subarachnoid, arachnoid and paya are together like this, and at some places they get separated by a huge cavity where you don't see the trabeculae. So those are called as cisterns. So what are cisterns? They are the dilated areas of the subarachnoid spaces. Normally the subarachnoid space, arachnoid and paya, are very close to each other. Okay. So places where they are dilated is called as cistern. Cisterns are dilated subarachnoid spaces, areas where the subarachnoid spaces are dilated. So they also contain CSF. So here, this is the medulla, this is the cerebellum, and here there is a huge area called as cerebellomedullary cistern. Cerebellomedullary cistern. Okay. It behind the medulla, in front of cerebellum, cerebellomedullary cistern. Above here, there is one more cistern called as cisterna ambiens. Cisterna ambiens. Brainstem, if you see from the anterior view, the crus cerebri is like this. There is pons, and here are the optic chiasma. Here there is one more cistern between the two cerebral peduncles, interpeduncular cistern, IPC, interpeduncular cistern. सामने दो ऑप्टिक काइज्मा है, पीछे क्रस सेरेब्राई है. दिस इज मिड ब्रेन. मिड ब्रेन सामने से ऐसा दिखता है ना, फिर ये पॉन्स है और ये मेडुला है. करेक्ट? Now this व्हाट इज दिस? क्रस. क्रस आपने सुना है? क्रस. क्रश सुना है? क्रश सुना है ना? तो क्रस नहीं सुना आपने? क्रस. हाँ, जिन लोगों का प्रोनाउंसिएशन अच्छा नहीं होता बोलता है ना, वो मेरी क्रस है कर. तो सेरेब्रम बोलता है ये मेरी क्रस है. मतलब सेरेब्रल क्रूरा, द फाइबर्स फ्रॉम द सेरेब्रम आर कमिंग डाउन थ्रू दिस. तो मिड ब्रेन के आगे जो हमको दो क्रस सेरेब्राई दिखते हैं ना, दे आर नथिंग बट फाइबर्स कमिंग डाउन फ्रॉम द सेरेब्रम, इसके अंदर. ओके, so therefore this crus cerebri is also called as cerebral peduncles. Peduncle means the bunch of fibers. Cerebral peduncle, so ऊपर cerebrum है बड़ा सा, उसके सारे फाइबर्स जो स्पाइनल कॉर्ड को जाने वाले हैं, they come firstly into crus cerebri, then they come into the basilar part of the pons, then they come into the pyramid of medulla, ऐसे करके then spinal cord. So from cerebrum the fibers have to pass down. ये मैंने आप लोगों का एडमिशन जब आधे क्लास थे, कौन कौन थे मैंने जब न्यूरो एनाट सिखाया था? अच्छा ठीक है, कुछ याद आ रहा है आप लोगों को? ओके, सो द सीक्वेंस इज लाइक दिस. वो लड़की किधर है? कुलकर्णी. उसको हमने इधर बुला के मैंने बोला था कि सेरेब्रम के सारे फाइबर्स इंटरनल कैप्सूल में पास में आते हैं. फाइबर्स पास, ऑल द फाइबर्स ऑफ द सेरेब्रम फर्स्टली गो टू इंटरनल कैप्सूल, फ्रॉम देयर इनटू द क्रस सेरेब्राई, देन इनटू द बेसिलर पार्ट ऑफ द पॉन्स. सो पॉन्स के आगे, पॉन्स इज लाइक दिस, लाइक अ ब्रिज. पीछे सेरेबेलम है, तो बेसिलर पार्ट ऑफ पॉन्स में, फिर पिरामिड ऑफ मेडुला में. So this is called as interpeduncular system. Why it is called interpeduncular system, Aishwarya? Cerebral peduncles. Cerebral peduncle. Why it is called cerebral peduncle? Because it is carrying all the fibers coming from the cerebrum. So interpeduncular system. Above the cerebellum is cisterna ambiens. Below the cerebellum and between the cerebellum and medulla is cerebellomedullary system. So these three systems main you should know. In front of pons also there is pontine system. Pons के सामने भी pontine system है. Pontine system. Okay. So these are the systems. इसका importance क्या है कि ये जो fourth ventricle है ना, CSF is coming from lateral ventricles, right? Through the interventricular foramen to third ventricle, from third ventricle through aqueduct of Cilius to fourth ventricle. Now you are seeing the fourth ventricle only in a sagittal section. So this fourth ventricle posteriorly in midline opens into the system, cerebellomedullary system, and that is called as the foramen of Magendie. Okay, there are two foramens. This fourth ventricle, अभी fourth ventricle जो है आप ऐसे देख रहे हो, but actually this fourth ventricle has lateral extensions. मतलब आप सामने से देखोगे ना तो fourth ventricle ऐसे है. So ये lateral extensions भी होते हैं उसके. वो lateral extensions के आगे भी holes होते हैं. These holes also open into this system. These foramens on the lateral side are called as foramen of Luschka. 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 Okay, foramen of Luschka. और ये Magendie. Magendie, M median, M Magendie, L lateral, L Luschka. So laterally क्या होता है? Luschka. In median plane is foramen of Magendie. So now you see here कि from the fourth ventricle the CSF has two pathways. One goes to the spinal cord central canal, and other through foramen of Magendie and Luschka it goes to cerebellomedullary cistern, and from there it goes to the subarachnoid space. It goes to the subarachnoid space. So अभी समझा वो subarachnoid space में CSF कहां से आता है? प्रोड्यूस अंदर होता है ब्रेन के, करेक्ट? प्रोड्यूस अंदर होता है लैटरल वेंट्रिकल्स, बट वो कवर बाहर से भी करता है. सो अंदर भी CSF, बाहर भी CSF. ओके, सो इतना क्यों अरेंजमेंट है ये? बिकॉज इट इज द वन विच प्रोवाइड्स न्यूट्रिशन टू द ब्रेन टिश्यू. तो खाली बाहर से न्यूट्रिशन नहीं देना है, अंदर से भी नरिश करना है. इसके लिए इट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड इनसाइड द वेंट्रिकल्स. सो सेरेब्रम को अंदर से नरिश करता है, फिर वो फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल तक जाता है, वहां से सब एरेक्नॉइड स्पेस में जाके वापस ऊपर तक आएगा. सो सब एरेक्नॉइड स्पेस में जाएगा तो वहां से उसके दो पाथवेज रहेंगे. वन विल कवर द ब्रेन एंड अदर विल कवर द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड. स्पाइनल कॉर्ड ऑल्सो हैज सब एरेक्नॉइड स्पेस ना. दिस थ्री, ड्यूरा मैटर, पाया मैटर, arachnoid paya, they are not only covering the brain but they are also covering the spinal cord down. So it will enter the subarachnoid space and then it continues around the spinal cord also. So spinal cord में you get CSF और उसमें हम लोग लंबार पंक्चर करते हैं और उसमें एनेस्थेटिक डाल के एनेस्थेशिया देते हैं. ओके, so you have to know that how much this CSF is important if it gets infected. That's the end of the story. Okay, very difficult. Also, because of the close contact of the CSF with the brain tissue, sometimes antibiotics, antiviral drugs can be inserted through the lumbar area directly into the CSF, so that infection also can be controlled. Now I had drawn initially a diagram like this. What is this? The skull. फिर ये कौन सा लेयर है स्कल के अंदर? एंडोस्टियल लेयर. फिर ये कौन सा लेयर है? मेनिंजियल लेयर. फिर ये कौन सा लेयर है? हाँ, एरेक्नॉइड लेयर. फिर ये कौन सा लेयर है? पाया, राइट, गोइंग इनटू द सल्काइका. ये कौन सा स्पेस है? इसमें क्या है? CSF. So this arachnoid extends like this. This arachnoid extends like this into the dural venous sinuses, and that is called as arachnoid villi. Arachnoid villi. Many villi come together to form arachnoid granulations. Arachnoid granulations. उसका फंक्शन क्या है देखो. CSF, total CSF in our body is 150 ml, but the rate of production of CSF is 200 ml per hour. नेहा काय थकले का बाळा तू आज? 200 ml per hour. In one day 5000 ml of CSF is produced. तो इतना प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है तो एब्सॉर्ब होना चाहिए ना. तो दैट CSF, सो सब एरेक्नॉइड स्पेस में CSF है ना, through this arachnoid granulations is drained into the dural venous sinuses. Dural venous sinuses. And in the spinal cord, it is drained into the spinal veins. Okay, so it has gone through the brain, surrounding the brain, matlab subarachnoid space around the brain. So from there it goes to the dural venous sinuses. Spinal cord, it enters the spinal veins. Spinal veins. Drainage. So drainage of CSF surrounding the brain is into the dural venous sinuses via arachnoid granulations or arachnoid villi. Okay, so let's again track the CSF. CSF is produced in lateral ventricle. From lateral ventricle to interventricular foramina into third ventricle. From third ventricle through aqueduct of Sylvius into fourth ventricle. And from fourth ventricle there is a split. One goes down into the central canal of the spinal cord, and second through foramen of Magendie and Luschka enters the cerebellomedullary cistern. From there it enters the cistern is what? Dilatation of the subarachnoid space. इस cistern में क्या होता है otherwise? The nerves pass. Why there are cisterns like this? For nerves from the brainstem to pass. In the subarachnoid space there are arteries. जो हमारे वर्टिब्रल आर्टरी आई डोंट नो, अपने नाम सुना है क्या नहीं, अपने सबक्लेवियन आर्टरी नाम सुना है? सबक्लेवियन आर्टरी कंटिन्यूज एज एक्सिलरी. दिस सबक्लेवियन आर्टरी गिव्स अ ब्रांच कॉल्ड एज वर्टिब्रल आर्टरी. नाउ दिस वर्टिब्रल आर्टरी around, it goes around the vertebral column and then unites to form a basilar artery. So it enters through the foramen magnum of the skull. So whenever these arteries are entering inside the skull, they pass into the subarachnoid space. They pass through the subarachnoid space. So in case there is bleeding in subarachnoid area, it is arterial. Okay, so extradural hemorrhage is, subdural is, and subarachnoid is most of the time. Okay, ये आपको कंसेप्ट अगर समझा तो आपके फाइनल एमबीबीएस में सर्जिकल पोस्टिंग, ऑर्थोपेडिक पोस्टिंग, जहाँ पे ट्रॉमा के केस आएंगे और वहां पे लिखा रहेगा रिपोर्ट में सब ड्यूरल हिमरेज, तो आपको पहला क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे सब ड्यूरल मतलब आर्टेरियल और वीनस. एक्स्ट्रा ड्यूरल इज लेंस शेप्ड. ऑल दोस डिटेल्स मैं थोड़ा सा रखता हूं, थर्ड ईयर के टीचर्स को भी थोड़ा सिखाने दो. ओके, सो सब एरेक्नॉइड स्पेस में ये आर्टरीज एंटर करते हैं एंड दैट्स हाउ दे आर इन द सब एरेक्नॉइड स्पेस. फिर एरेक्नॉइड से पाया को क्या जाता है? ट्राबेक्यूले. That's why it is called arachnoid, like a spider. वो ट्राबेक्यूले में से, so arteries are in the subarachnoid space. Then through those trabeculae, the arteries are entering into the pia mater and then providing nourishment to the brain. Okay, so they are in the subarachnoid space. और वो जो ट्राबेक्यूले है उसमें वो एंटर करते हैं, उसके ब्रांचेस छोटे छोटे. सो ब्रेन को जब जोर से मार लगेगा तो ट्राबेक्यूले ब्रेक होंगे, फिर ब्लीडिंग होगा. इसके लिए हेलमेट जो बोलते हैं. बाकी इधर उधर हाथ को कुछ हो गया हम लोग सब मैनेज कर सकते हैं. टू व्हीलर्स, आपके घर में भी आपको ऑपोजिशन हुआ रहेगा ना सबको. किस किस के घर में टू व्हीलर नहीं चलाने का? जरा हाथ ऊपर करो. एक ही, 2 3 4 5. एंड इट इज ट्रू. It is true. I have seen myself some students going to NEET classes. One girl in Baramati dashed by a truck. I have seen her body and the whole brain substance coming out. It's painful. तो इज्जत से अपना रिक्शा में बैठने का, जाने का. My daughter also, I don't allow her by going. I have electric bikes, I have cycles, everything. उसको बोल दो चल के जा, ट्रेन में बैठ, उधर से चल के क्लास को जा, या टैक्सी का पैसा ले. टू व्हीलर्स आर डेंजरस. मैं खुद चलाता हूँ बिकॉज अभी मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है इसके लिए. आप लोग चिल्लाते सर आप लेट आ गए, तो फिर अदरवाइज मैं भी बस से आ सकता हूँ. So then the absorption, it splits it goes into the subarachnoid space, around the brain, around the spinal cord. Absorption is by the veins around the spinal cord and absorption into the dural, mainly the superior sagittal sinus. ये ऐसा midline में जो रहता है ना, exactly ऐसा, उसमें majority of it drains, superior sagittal sinus. Okay, so that's about the CSF का whole journey from lateral ventricle to the dural venous sinuses. This CSF provides protection to the brain, right? It's like a bag of water around the brain. इसके लिए आप ऐसा ऐसा करते हो तो बीच में फाक सेरिब्रा है, दो सेरेब्रम के बीच में, तो आप ऐसा ऐसे करोगे तो वो हिलता नहीं. Then there is between the skull and the brain, there is this bag of subarachnoid space which is full of CSF. So they act as a shock absorber. So nourishment, shock absorption, okay, provide passage for blood vessels. Okay, drugs can be administered through the CSF in the cistern. If you put the drugs, it can reach. Okay, so multiple functions of the CSF and importance of this fluid. Okay. Now there can be a obstruction in any of these passages. Sometimes there may be obstruction here only. Lateral ventricles. So suppose this is the lateral ventricle inside, ये lateral ventricle है जिसके अंदर CSF प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है और वो lateral ventricle से third ventricle में जाना चाहिए. Now there is an obstruction. So but CSF is being produced at what rate? 5000 ml per day, 200 ml per, और उसको बाहर जाने को जगह नहीं है. So then it will compress on the brain substance, it will enlarge in size, compress on the brain substance, and this is called as internal hydrocephalus. Internal hydrocephalus. Internal hydrocephalus. Hydro, water, cephalus, increase in size due to accumulation of water inside the brain. Okay. So internal hydrocephalus ये level पे, मतलब even aqueduct में भी हुआ before the fourth ventricle. Before the fourth ventricle there is an obstruction. Aqueduct में या third ventricle में it will lead to internal hydrocephalus. उसमें है, उसको नॉन कम्युनिकेटिंग वगैरह बोलते हैं, नॉन कम्युनिकेटिंग. नाउ इफ देयर इज अ ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन एट द cerebellopontine area or cerebellomedullary area, I'll draw it again for you. जगह okay. This is the fourth ventricle, this is the cerebellum, and then here is this cistern. From this cistern the whole CSF goes up. But if this cistern lower down, it will be in continuation with the subarachnoid space around the spinal cord. Right? It will go around the and surround the spinal. Now if there is some blockage here, now from fourth ventricle it has reached the cerebellomedullary cistern, but from there it is not going to the spinal cord. Not going to the spinal cord. So now it is kind of accumulating only in the brain area. Only in the brain area. Not going down to the spinal cord properly. Or if there is some problem here, in the arachnoid granulations, in the arachnoid villi, and the CSF is not getting drained into the superior sagittal sinus, then now there is lot of fluid outside the brain, and the लिटरली यू विल नॉट बिलीव, किसी बच्चे को अगर हो जाता है ना न्यूबॉर्न को, उसका बॉडी इतना सा और उसका सर ऐसा बड़ा हो जाता है, बिकॉज स्कल बोन्स आर स्टिल नॉट फ्यूज्ड विथ ईच अदर, सो दे कीप ऑन. तो सडनली यू सी अ चाइल्ड लाइक दिस, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एक्सटर्नल हाइड्रोकेफेलस. एक्सटर्नल हाइड्रोकेफेलस. Okay, so hydrocephalus basically happens because of obstruction to the flow of CSF, or problem in absorption of CSF, or obstruction to the flow of CSF. It can be internal when the lateral ventricles enlarge, or it can be external. अंदर से ब्रेन को कंप्रेस करेगा या बाहर से. ओके, समझ लगा? तू आपको समझ रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? हाँ, तू जैसे बोलता है. हाँ, क्या नाम है आपका? समझ रहा है ना? इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल. ओके. अनदर अप्लाइड एनाटॉमी इज meningitis. Meningitis. The inflammation of the meninges is called meningitis. Because it is surrounding the brain, severe headaches, severe fever, infection is difficult to control because there are no WBCs in the CSF. Okay, so resistance in that area is quite low. You cannot have WBCs and RBCs moving around like this inside freely. Okay, in other areas they are. Then there is neck rigidity. The neck of the person becomes rigid. So if fever, आप भी फीवर में एक डॉक्टर के पास गए रहेंगे तो डॉक्टर ने आपके हाथ डाला रहेगा सर के नीचे, हाँ, और फिर ऐसा करके देखा कि नेक रिजिडिटी है क्या. व्हेन देयर इज इन्फ्लेमेशन इनसाइड द CSF, all the nerves pass through these cisterns. The nerves supplying the neck muscles also pass, so they are so irritated, those nerves, that they hyperstimulate the muscles. So the neck becomes rigid. Person in fever, if he is not able to flex the neck, means he is going into meningitis. That fever may be due to meningitis. So every fever case, the doctor will say, put his hand below the head and check whether the neck is rigid. Why the neck becomes rigid? Because this neck muscle is going to spasm. Why? Because all those nerves, they pass through the subarachnoid space. So in case of meningitis, there is infection in the subarachnoid space, inflammation in the subarachnoid space in the CSF, which irritates the nerves, and because of those nerves, those muscles go into spasm. That is the reason why there is neck rigidity in case of, yeah. Then you have to talk about lumbar puncture. Lumbar puncture. So lumbar puncture, spinal cord ends at what level? L1. But the meninges continue down. The meninges continue down. The subarachnoid space also continues down. So here we have the spinal cord has ended. So we have a lot of CSF, some nerves are passing like this. So at L3, L4 level, I put a needle. There is no risk of damaging the spinal cord. I put anesthetic fluid inside the CSF. So all nerves are passing like this, right? So the anesthetic fluid goes up, paralyzes those nerves. So all nerves have to pass through the subarachnoid space, because brain, spinal cord के बाद pia mater. All the nerves have to pierce the pia mater. Then go through the subarachnoid space, then pierce the arachnoid mater, which provides the sheet to most of the nerves. Okay, so we take advantage of this. The nerves are coming from the spinal cord, right? Nerves are coming from the spinal cord and passing through the subarachnoid space. So I have very less chance of damaging the spinal cord. Brain को अपन touch नहीं कर सकते. Okay, so हम लोग subarachnoid space में very nicely we, so depending upon कौन से लेवल तक मुझे जाना है, लंबार लेवल तक जाना है तो थोड़ा ही डाला, thoracic लेवल तक जाना है और ऊपर. Okay, so we insert the anesthetic fluid inside the subarachnoid space, in the subarachnoid space, what passes through the subarachnoid space? The nerves. The nerves. So that is the advantage. The nerves are passing, so I insert the anesthetic, the nerves are paralyzed for some time, till the point the anesthetic is absorbed back and ejected from the body. But disadvantage is that infection also can cause rigidity, spasm of these muscles, right? So subarachnoid space, nerves can be paralyzed artificially, that can relax the muscles, that can anesthetize the organs and we can operate. But if it gets infected, there is neck rigidity and fever. Okay, so that's all about the applied anatomy, the passage of the CSF and the meninges.